Hey, it's Meltdown here with the guy who's official like a referee with the whistle, the OG, the Butterball Biscuit himself. I mean, I don't know what else to say. This guy's got a plan. He's like Stan. I can't keep going. Steve, GWC, Morand from the Greatest Wrestling Collection. How you doing,
What?
Steve?
What up, though, folks? Wham, bam, all my fam. It is definitely going down with the underground sound. Big Melt, good to see you, my brother from another mother. How you feeling?
I forgot the wham bam part. Yes.
It's all right. We're all Butterball Biscuits, and we're all feeling good, feeling great. Put some more on our breakfast, lunch, and dinner plates. What up, though?
That's right. We're going to see you tonight at IWR Insane Wrestling Revolution as we record this. But the reason I got you on here is because there seems to be this rumbling on the interweb, and I wanted to pick your brain as far as WrestleMania 43 possibly here in Detroit, because WrestleMania 3 was here, WrestleMania 23 was here, and now they're looking at 43. So do you know anything?
Now, there's a couple things that I do know, so we can rock and roll together for the days of the stormy weather out there, folks. You want to go back to 1987, WrestleMania 3. I was part of the 93,000 strong there. Body slam heard around the world. We're talking about Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan. You know what that's all about out there, folks. Now, that was iconic in its own mind. For all you rock heads out there, Jimmy, the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart rocked this cummerbund. Alice Cooper on a rock and roll Motor City Madness, but Jimmy was wearing this cummerbund WrestleMania 3. Jake the Snake Roberts, Honky Tonk Man. That was right here at Pontiac Silverdome. A lot of history made there. Then you fast forwarded a few years, and then we go, we're WrestleMania 23, Battle of the Hairs. I was there. Were you there, Big Mouth?
I was there, yeah, for sure.
Now, you talk about wrestling history, you can't leave out Detroit, Michigan, home of big-time wrestling. Once upon a time, it was all different territories out here. We have big-time wrestling. So wrestling heritage and wrestling, we'll just call it wrestling fever, runs wild here in Detroit, Michigan. So I'm ready. I'm ready for another Mania here. They know that us fans are ready, and it's going down.
Well, we'll see what happens. So that could be oh, nice. I love that. By the way, did Alice Cooper sign that cummerbund? Because if not, I got one of those at my house too. Yeah, nice.
Yes, I was gonna say I took this off your wall last time I was at your house. I hope you have so much awesome memorabilia. Now we're here at the GWC Museum.
That's
it's
right.
Home of 160,000 items of wrestling memorabilia out there, folks. But I'm just trying to keep up with my brother Big Melt over there because he's got his own cool collection.
Yeah, we'll tag some pictures and stuff to your here in the story. So anyways, nice. I love that. But we got to get Alice Cooper to sign that cummerbund next time he's in town.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
We'll get that going.
We were talking WrestleMania 3. Brutus Beefcake gave me this. This is a chair from the Pontiac Silverdome.
Nice.
The Pontiac Silverdome chair signed by, strutting and cutting himself, Eddie Leslie, a.k.a. Brutus the Barber Beefcake. You know how we rock and roll?
I do know. So anyways, let's get back to WrestleMania. So there's rumors around that, there might be a little bit of a push. And I mean, It would only make sense to do 43 right here in Detroit. And
I feel the same way. Like I said, we rock and rolled here for 3, then 23, now 43. So you guys see the 20s, you see the sequence of numbers out there, if you will. But also the numbers don't lie. We hosted SummerSlam here in Detroit, Michigan. That was last SummerSlam. I was rocking and rolling down there, and we broke record numbers, brother. Record numbers, fans and attendance and merch. So, I mean, if they want to, the numbers don't lie. We're ready for it here in Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah, I hope that happens. That's in obviously the summer, or I mean, I guess it would be the spring of 2027 would be WrestleMania 43. Just going back to WrestleMania 23 here, I remember I interviewed Stone Cold Steve Austin after that.
Awesome.
I don't know, maybe a year or two after. And by the way, as far as I'm concerned, Stone Cold Steve Austin has done the coolest stuff in his career here in Detroit.
And that's the bottom line. He's coming in riding a Zamboni. What else do we need?
Yeah. Al Sabaka told me about they had to teach him how to drive it that day. And he didn't do a very good job because he's ripping down light rigs and all sorts of stuff. But anyways, he said that during that match, for the hair versus hair match, he thought that they stunk the place up. And he said he went backstage and he looked at Vince. He said, we stunk this place up because he couldn't hear the crowd. And what happened was he said that the noise just went straight up and he couldn't And he was one of these guys who played off the crowd big time. And he thought that they didn't do very well, but they did, of course.
It's so wild. You got to think about it out there. If you want to take it from a wrestler's perspective, they're in the ring. They got 80,000, 90,000, 100. You got so many people in the ring. The ambience, the cadence of the place. It's if the acoustics of the place, if it's not a dome or if it is a dome. I mean, every place you go to is going to sound different volume wise. So these guys, like you just said, Melt, they don't know. Sometimes they can't hear if the crowd's chanting, or they don't think they're rocking and rolling as they should be. And then, just like you said it right there, Stone Cold goes back and says, wow, these Butterball Biscuits were wild child west of 7 Mile out here, you know? And I agree with you because I've been to a lot of open air arenas, and the vibe, the energy, the sound could be different. Just like, you go to the Big House here, Ann Arbor, Michigan. Yeah. I mean, you know, that's 100,000 cats in there. So, you know, you can get pretty wild really quick.
Yeah, that's where they should do a wrestling pay-per-view.
Hey, you know what? I've said that for a while now. And I think that'd be awesome. Ann Arbor, the Big House, go blue. But I mean, you can get 110,000 in there, and that'd be a sight to see. That'd be a sight to see.
What are some of the latest things that you've added to the museum?
Now, so here what we got going on. I've been collecting strong 30 plus years, everything from, you would go back to 1939 ring-worn boots to 2024 ring-worn items or figures or autographs, knickknacks, anything in between. We're rocking and rolling. So it's it never ends. I love hunting. I love the nostalgia. I love the history of it. So stuff that's new. We could run, you know, before we do, I got to give a shout out to 101 Riff, the best rock station, not just in Detroit, Metro Detroit area, worldwide, you Butterball Biscuits. Hey, it's a West Side Situation station. If you didn't know, 50 years strong, 1971. And I got something for you, Melt. Next time I see you when you come over to the museum, because it's a VIP situation station, but I had a gift for you.
All right.
And I figured, let's go back in time to 1984. Let's go back in time. Maybe you have this. This is 101 Riffs. Meet the Bruiser band out there. This is Dick the Bruiser. You see, look at all the Budweisers, and it's got, well, the 101 Riff cast from 1984. Everybody rock. Now, you'd see Meltdown if this was, you celebrated how many years you've been rocking with the Riff?
28 and a half.
Wow. Hey, folks, if you're out, hey, let's give one of these pats on the back of Barry Horowitz, the big Melt smoother than felt out there. Almost 29 years rocking. I'll just, hey, you know what? I'm going to take a picture of you and I'll just put it on the back there.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Belong.
Yeah,
you asked me about items in the museum. If you got a quick second, we could take a quick jog around.
All right.
I don't know.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I got rock and roll tonight. IWR Insane Wrestling Revolution in Monroe. I'm going to tell you guys first before we do. I have some exclusive news dropping out there. People always ask me for years when the museum is going to be open to the public, when you're going to have something open to the public, because over here is really VIP. Me and Big Melt, our brother Darren McCarty, all the other wrestling legends that we rock with over here. But coming to Monroe, Michigan, you guys be ready. That's all I'm going to say. There's going to be a one-of-a-kind GWC wrestling experience coming very soon, and we're going to leave it at, you guys got the first drop because we're brothers out there, Mel.
That's right.
I told you before. I talked to Brett this morning, and I talked to Godfather. So you, Brett the Hitman Hart, and Godfather know. So, and Miss GWC.
I love Brett the Hitman Hart. I sat and had dinner with him
Great guy.
Years ago, man. What an awesome dude. Well, go ahead, give us a quick tour if you can.
Yeah, man.
Let's see. Well, we lost your sound.
60,000 items of wrestling memorabilia over here. You don't need to see me. Let's rock and roll. Now you just get through. Like I said, it's a little bit of everything. We're in the VIP lounge now. This is where some of the madness happens over here. Now you slide through the VIP lounge and you come over to the game room, and we're not playing too many games around here.
There it is.
A little Riffster action.
I think, is that the one Big E signed?
Yes. Hey, shout out to all you Riffsters out there. We made it to the Legends Wing. Now this is what Mick Foley calls the Willy Wonka factory of wrestling, because anything can happen over here. These are all one-of-one wrestling ring-worn relics. We're tickling the tassels of Ultimate Warrior. We got a little Warrior or Ric Flair styling and profiling 1989 Hogan. Hey, right here, rest in peace to Joe Louis Arena. Hogan wore this against Ric Flair. This is given to me from Mr. T. Macho Man, Godfather, a little bit of everything out there. Mick will tell you to have a nice day, but you know, it's something about wrestling nostalgia, something about the history of it, Meltdown. It just takes us back in time. Hey, we're talking about Wrestlemania, my favorite match of Wrestlemania history. Wrestlemania 3 at Pontiac Silverdome. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Macho Man, the best technical match of all time, in my opinion.
There's a new book out with Macho Man. Have you heard about that?
I have not heard of. I've heard about it, haven't read it.
Okay.
Haven't read it out there, but I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, like I said, it's a little bit of everything rocking and rolling over here. It's whenever I what there we go, little WrestleMania 5. You need a haircut, Melt. You're looking good over there. You're looking good. Wait a second. Before we get out of here, though, I got to reverse. I just thought I saw somebody. Wait a who's this Butterball Biscuit? Look at this guy.
I love it.
It wouldn't be the Legends Wing if we didn't have legendary Big Melt out there. So
I just loved that picture so much. I thought you got to have that.
Yes, sir. But we're rocking and rolling, and just a little piece of wrestling history over here. We're not going to go upstairs and get lost in time with all the wrestling relics upstairs. But I'll tell you something. It's I love sharing all the wrestling memorabilia, the wrestling history, and the wrestling memories with everybody out there. I think it's what it's all about. We can all enjoy it together. Takes us back in time to a good place.
Yeah,
at least it does to me. But it's what it's all about, brother.
That's why I've got my rock room at my house, because it's all about memories. It's all about sharing the pictures. It's all about sharing it with your kids, with your friends. My friends come over, just like when I go to your place over there, and people are like just blown away. It's like, what can you look at? There's too much to look at.
It is a lot to look at. Hey, even myself, I mean, I'm here daily. I don't live here. People say, where's your bed at? I said, I got 3 kids and a beautiful old lady. Where do you think I'm sleeping on the Wrestling Buddies and the Legends Wing over here? No, it's I have a separate location where I do live at, but it's you're right. Even myself, I walk through here and daily I look at something new and say, wow, I didn't see that, or I didn't see Jimmy Hart's ring-worn glasses just sitting over there. Since we're talking music, we talk Jimmy, we talk about Gentry's. Keep on dancing out there, little Jimmy Hart old school. But yeah, it's always something, and it's always it always makes me smile when I bring the legends over here. When I'm blessed to have some of these wrestling legends walking around over here through the museum, and they really to see their respect and love for it, and to see everything on display. That's a cool feeling too. It's humbling as well, you know.
Hey, by the way, I think I asked you before and you hadn't yet, but have you seen the Iron Claw movie?
I have seen the Iron Claw movie since we've talked a few times. I was a fan. I'm a fan of anything, obviously, wrestling out there. I'm not going to be a negative critic on it, say that, oh, I wish they touched base on this or that. I think they did a pretty good job with it. The Von Erich family, though, is such a historic wrestling family out there. They better did a good job.
Yeah. You know, I watched it twice, actually. I went by myself, and then I took some.
Like that.
So, yeah, it was, I thought it was pretty good. But like you said, they did miss a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit out there. You know what? I'm talking about all my favorite wrestling matches and memorabilia and wildness. Now, Don, you always do the awesome interviews out here, Big Mel. You mind if I ask you a question? What's your, not to put you, Johnny, on the spot, all 6'8" of you, but I wanted to ask you, what's your favorite wrestling match or memory of all time? I don't have to be a match.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a favorite match, but Stone Cold, I'm a huge slappy for. The Rock back in the day, I thought he was great recently too. But sure. I told you about this. Bill Goldberg threw me against the wall once.
You know, we got to talk to Bill about roughing you up, man, because I think you could have taken him out with the belt.
I don't know if I could. And that was probably almost 23, 24, 25 years ago, something like that. So I don't even want to bring it up, to be quite honest with you. I'm not going to bring it up to him. I've seen him since. I didn't even bring it up. But yeah, I'm an Attitude Era guy, man. That's where I really got into it.
Sure. And myself, I always say this, every era of wrestling is a great era for its each his own, because it's different. They're all different. I love it all. Golden Era, I'm a big fan of the Golden Era, the Superstars era. Love it all. So colorful, so many different characters out there. Attitude Era I'm a huge fan of Attitude Era, was such a wild time in wrestling. It's that it'll never be duplicated. I'm blessed to call Godfather Barry. He's one of my brothers. He's one of my kids' godfather, for Christ's sake. And he rock and rolled through the golden era as Papa Shango, and then Attitude Era as Godfather.
Yeah.
Out there. It's to hear and be able to be part of history with these guys, because they're family of mine out there now. Hear some of the stories and just the wild stuff. These guys were rock stars back in the day. These are big facts.
Yeah.
Big facts. But Attitude Era definitely was more than entertaining. That's for sure.
I get the same feeling sometimes when I talk with like rock star stuff. I just talked with Don Jameson last week, who was on that metal show, and he's a comedian and whatnot. And I said, doesn't it blow your mind sometimes that you get to talk to these guys that you grew up watching? And he went back to like, it's the same thing like with you. He went back to like his first, Judas Priest concert. He's looking up on stage and there's Rob Halford. And then you fast forward, a couple decades and he's sitting next to you at a couch. It's crazy.
It's so wild. It is very wild. I grew up in the GWC. I grew up here. We grew up, the Legends Wing was our living room back in the day. And it's a long story with how I do some properties in Detroit, but this house was vacant for 11 years and I got it back and put it back together. I said, this is going to be the museum. And when I sit over in the living room, we used to have the TV with the wood box, the wood entertainment center. When I'm over here with Jake or Mick or Brett or any of these guys, I say, man, Saturday morning superstars, we'd be in the 80s. I'd watch you, Butterball Biscuits, early 90s right here. Now we're hanging, rocking and rolling here together. It's cool, it's humbling, and it's full circle connecting the dots out there. It's pretty wild though,
No doubt. Well, listen, dude, I'm going to cut you loose here. We're gonna get ready to get going to IWR. Got to give Rhino and our friend Gary a big plug. What a great time it is down there.
What a great time.
And people may be watching this after the event's already taken place, but there's another one coming up right down the road. So,
yep. If you didn't know, Insane Wrestling Revolution, downtown Monroe. It's go time. GWC, Big Meltdown, 101 The Riff. I love you, Butterball Biscuits.
Dude, we'll see you later on tonight.
Hey, keep it Triple C. That's cool, calm, and collected. Let's stay in that right direction. One love, folks. Come on.